Frank Warren has said some ridiculous things in his time, but this ranks right up there with the very most ridiculous. Warren says that AJ should vacate his world titles and just wait for the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. And they might fight twice in 2020. He's saying just give up all your belts, wait for the winner of that, because that's what the public wants to see. So this man is saying that AJ should compromise his position in order to get that fight by way of giving your titles up and letting other people fight for the belts and become champions, and then they get to fight for the undisputed against the winner of Wilder Fury.
What brand of crack are you smoking?
And let's be clear here. Frank Warren is not saying that AJ should relinquish all his belts so he can go off and have some more learning fights away from the pressure of being champion. No, that's not what Frank Warren's saying. Frank Warren's saying that AJ should have no fights at all, do no learning whatsoever, and just wait and wait and wait for a phone call from either Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury after they've fought at least once or two more times. What a load of absolute nonsense. But of course, Frank Warren is trying to take advantage of boxing fans who have an agenda and boxing fans who don't know any better, because they might listen to what Frank Warren said and say, okay, well, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, everybody wants to see Wilder or Fury versus AJ. So yeah, if AJ's got this mandatory problem, he just needs to get rid of his belts and then he can fight. People, the whole point of AJ versus Wilder or Fury is because it's an undisputed fight. That's the whole point. Yes, from a style point of view, we'd still like to see it, but it doesn't hold the same weight. It doesn't hold the same significance without all the belts. Yeah, it's all about having an undisputed champion, a consensus champion, and then some would say a new lineage could start from there because we never had an undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis. So if we have an undisputed champion now, everybody can say, okay, this is the consensus champion. He is the man. And going forward, you have to beat him to become the man. If Joshua relinquishes the belts, well then, guess who that benefits? It benefits Kubrat Pulev for one. IBF becomes vacant, right? Frank Warren is saying that that's certainly one of the belts that AJ should relinquish. He says, one thing about Pulev, he can really whack. Well, Pulev has never been known as a big puncher. What's he talking about? But of course, again, Frank Warren trying to take advantage of people who don't know no better or people who have an agenda. Yeah? Ridiculous. It's all about getting the undisputed fight as quickly as possible. And in order for that to happen, somebody's going to need to keep hold of the other three belts. Wilder's got one. It's either going to be Wilder or Fury holding it by the end of 2020. If the other three are held by one man, it makes the undisputed fight easier. If they're all fragmented, then of course that would benefit Frank Warren. I mean, Daniel Dubois is climbing up, I think, the WBO rankings. We know that Frank Warren has had a very close relationship with the WBO for many years. Maybe Frank Warren wants to get Daniel Dubois in there against Usyk. Or if Derek Chisora manages to upset Usyk, if that fight happens, Derek Chisora. Or Joe Joyce in there. I mean, Joe Joyce has got a high ranking in some of the sanctioned bodies. If one of those, titles that Joyce is ranked highly in becomes vacant because AJ crazily vacates all of his belts, like Frank Warren is advising him to do, maybe Joe Joyce gets to become. So then you'll have all these other guys out there claiming that, oh, actually, I'm the number one in the division. I'm the champion. So when it comes to negotiating with them, oh, well, give me a certain percentage. And of course, how could Anthony Joshua go to a negotiating table with Wilder or Fury and say, I want 50-50 or whatever? He can't. Somebody who doesn't have a title, it weakens him at the negotiating table. And that's what Frank Warren wants, of course. He wants a compromised Anthony Joshua, and he's just hoping that boxing fans who don't know no better or people with an agenda can't see what he's doing or don't want to see what he's doing. So absolutely ridiculous what Frank Warren is saying. He knows it's ridiculous, but he's playing a game. If you can't see that he's playing a game, then you're either playing the game too, or you're a fool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Frank Warren's comments. It's Hatman, I'm out. Hatman merch is now available. We got t-shirts, vests, hoodies, and more. Just click the link below.